You know that feeling, right? You book a flight, you pack your bags, and you're off to some beautiful, far-flung paradise. But here's the thing. That whole escape is it's getting complicated. The very act of chasing that paradise, it's actually part of the climate crisis that's threatening to wipe those places off the map. It's a huge paradox, and it's one the travel industry can't ignore anymore. And listen to this quote. The world isn't just getting warm, it's boiling. Now, that's not a line from a climate scientist in some faraway lab. That's from Dr. Wachari Pranamnut, who's the president of the Tourism Industry Council in one of Thailand's biggest tourist hotspots. Think about that. When the very people whose entire business depends on sunshine and beautiful scenery start saying things are boiling, you know we've got a serious problem on our hands. So it leaves us with this big question. How on earth can a vacation actually help save the planet? It sounds totally backward, doesn't it? But what if it's not? What if we could flip the script and make tourism part of the solution? Well, in this explainer, we're diving into one city in Thailand that thinks it has cracked the code. They're building a blueprint for a whole new way to travel. All right, so let's set the scene. We're heading to a place called Nakhon Ratchasima, but everyone just calls it Korat. And this isn't your average tourist town. We're talking about a place so special, it's been designated a UNESCO Triple Heritage Site. That means it's packed with incredible natural wonders and amazing cultural history. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about here, look at this number. Over 4 million visitors. And that's just in the first 6 months of 2024. All those people brought in more than 8 billion baht, which is, over 200 million US dollars? It's an absolute tourism giant. But here's the catch. This paradise is right on the front lines of the climate crisis. The rising heat, the crazy weather patterns, they're a direct threat to the very things people come to see. The beautiful forests, the ancient history. The entire foundation of their success is literally melting away. So yeah, the need for change isn't just a nice idea, it's existential. So what do you do when your paradise is under that much pressure? Well, the leaders in Krat are not messing around with small fixes. They're rolling out a full-blown green survival plan. And they're totally redefining tourism, not as some little eco-friendly option on the side, but as the absolute core of their entire game plan for the future. And this quote really nails it. This is no longer a choice. It's a way to survive. Dr. Pranamnut is saying that for the tourism industry, for the local people, and honestly for the planet, this isn't about having a green option anymore. Adapting is the only way to stay in the game. Okay, so the big idea behind this whole survival plan is something called carbon neutral tourism. At its heart, it's actually a pretty simple concept. It's like balancing a scale. You figure out all the carbon emissions your trip creates. We're talking everything from your flight down to the AC in your hotel room. Then you zero it out by investing in projects that pull that exact same amount of carbon back out of the atmosphere. And this really shows you the before and after. On one side, you've got traditional tourism. It's all about using a ton of energy, creating waste, and not really thinking about where things come from. But on the other side, you have this new green model. It's all about being smart with resources, aiming for zero waste, and actually connecting with the local community. It's a whole different way of thinking about what a vacation even is. So, an idea is one thing, but how do you actually make it happen across an entire region? I mean, how do you get everyone from the massive resorts down to the tiny street food vendors to buy in and work together? Let's look at Karat's playbook. Well, it looks like they're tackling it from both ends. You've got the Official Tourism Authority of Thailand, the TAT, leading the charge from the top. They're creating training programs for everybody and even designing official low-carbon travel routes. This is huge because it means when you, the tourist, pick a green tour, you know it actually meets a real verified standard. And check this out. People actually want this. The research shows there's a real hunger for greener travel options. And interestingly, it's women who are leading the charge here, making up about 2/3 of the people interested. So this isn't just some feel-good project, it's smart business. You're giving a growing market exactly what it's asking for. And they're not being quiet about it either. Korat is taking this new green identity and shouting it from the rooftops all over the world. They're creating special travel routes for people from Singapore and India. They're showing off at festivals in places like Australia and Poland. And they're even attracting big corporate meetings. You know, the kind of companies that have their own ESG, or environmental and social, goals to meet. Okay, so that's the big regional plan. But what does it actually look like for a single hotel trying to do its part? Let's zoom in and take a look at a case study. This is the Shayada Resort, and they've really become a trailblazer in this whole movement. And for the hotel's manager, this isn't just about feeling good or saving the planet. It's smart business. When you start doing things like cutting down on waste and using less energy, guess what happens? Your costs go down. It turns out that sustainability is actually good for the bottom line.
And they've got it down to a science. It's a clear 4-step process. First, they track literally everything that creates an emission. Then, they use official numbers to calculate the exact carbon footprint of your stay. Step 3, they buy what are called carbon credits to completely cancel out that footprint. And the final step? The whole thing is officially verified so you can even get a certificate proving your stay was carbon neutral. Pretty cool, right?
And here's a peek at what that math actually looks like. You can see how they break it all down, the drive to the hotel, the electricity for your room, even the meals you eat. Each one gets converted into a specific carbon value. So for this sample trip, it all adds up to just under 31 kilograms of CO2. And that's the exact amount they go and offset, making the whole thing completely balanced out.
Now, what's happening at this one hotel isn't just a one-off experiment. It's actually the blueprint for the entire region's future. The idea is to take this model and scale it up, from one business to entire communities and eventually to huge international events. And they are dreaming big, let me tell you. They're planning a whole blue zone focused on wellness and living longer. They're helping local villages start their own unique eco-tours. And get this, one of the experiences is planting seeds with a slingshot. How cool is that? And it's all leading up to a huge event, the World Horticultural Expo in 2029, which will really put Korat on the map as a world leader in this stuff. So, when you boil it all down, this isn't just a story about Thailand. This is a sneak peek at the future of travel everywhere. What's happening in Korat proves that we as travelers have a real choice to make. We can just be consumers, or we can be part of protecting the incredible places we go to see. It really leaves you with a question for your next vacation, doesn't it? It's not just, where am I going? But what kind of footprint will I leave when I get there?